Hello everyone, my name is Karynn Crow Weinstein. Welcome to the show. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say to you at this time, but one thing I'd like to talk about is Mr. Biden and Miss Harris being a vice president with and working with Vice President Biden. I think that's a pretty good combination. And yes, Miss Harris is very gung-ho, go for it, and very forceful and very assertive. And I think that's what you need in a vice president. Time will tell. Let things evolve before we make any judgment calls on what's happening in our country, in today's world. So we'll go slow and watch. That's what I'm doing. Just watching and just observing, paying attention. I watch different shows. I bounce around with CNN, MSNBC, and Fox, and a couple other news media shows. And I want to learn from everybody as to how you take in what is going on in your environment and your way of life, new thoughts and ideas, good and bad, but keep it respectful. And you can write to me at the following address: Karynn for President at gmail.com. Karynn for President at gmail.com. Remember to spell my name with a Y. My first name is spelled like this: Karynn. Weinstein for President. Nope, I mistook. The email is KarynForPresident at gmail.com. My website is KarynWeinsteinForPresident.com. A little tricky to keep the names separate and accordingly. And in those shows you'll describe basically my ideas and thoughts. And I'm looking for your response at KarynForPresident at gmail.com. My husband and I went out to dinner tonight. And on our way, the pathway to our restaurant, we had to go by a little park that's goes along the waterway. And there were many cars there, many cars. And they had many vendors. They had a place you could get dessert. There was a place you could get a $2 hot dog. So I wondered, as I passed through this area, how are these people doing? I wanted to know. So after dinner, we drove the same road. And we parked this time. And we went to talk to the people and the vendors. And I asked many of them, many of which who were other Puerto Rican, black people, white people, all color go there. And all kinds of foods is offered there. And I asked them, do you go here because you don't have enough money to go to a regular restaurant? So, oh no, we have plenty of money. And they said they weren't in any hardship. That they have all the food they need, all the necessary things they have. They just choose to eat from the vendors on this road. And the people seem very happy and not in any hardship. I talked to a good 20 people, just asking them how they're doing. They said they're all doing fine. I talked to a couple of vendors. They said, I don't see any hardship. People have no problem paying the money for the food they serve. So that was a false implication on myself, that I saw all these cars and all these vendors. I immediately suspected they were too poor to go to a restaurant. And that is not the case. One man says he could take his food anywhere He could stand and have his dinner or lunch, or he could sit in his car and have a dinner in his car or anywhere, any other place, or take it home. They said there was no hardship that they could see. There's a large variety of dinners, and a lot of it was Puerto Rican food, Mexican food, American food. You had a very large, because there's about 15 vendors, which there were trucks who made the food right on the scene. So I found it awkward. What is the news media telling us? I shouldn't take one place that I was at to be sure that makes up the rest of the state and the rest of this country. But I did want to tell you I did, and many of the people are financially secure. I met a couple, white people. They said they are working. They're not worried, they're working. And there were plenty of cars out there coming and going. What were they doing? Where were they going? How are they going to spend their money, I wondered. So is the media telling the truth? What is truth? Okay. Those are my thoughts. Be careful implying things, implications. Go to the person if you're curious, say your name, and ask them your concerns. Ask the people. Don't assume. Don't just think that's the way it is because it looks that way. Talk to the people. Ask them. Do you have hardship? What is truth? I want to say one more thing. The people, the media, the news reporters, kept me in the dark, and probably kept you in the dark as well. I would watch MSNBC, the Rachel Maddow show. For weeks they just talked about days or weeks, talked about the pandemic. And not truly what's going on so much as in the riots and people doing bad things to police officers responding, they're arresting people. State government is arresting people who they choose to arrest and put them in a car and drive away. What is that all about? Is it still happening now? Did the riots stop? I'm curious to know. Maybe one of the top-ranking news shows could elaborate on my thoughts. As far as what happened with the Muslims and all, and their way, it was kept from me. Media didn't allow me to hear anything about what is going on with the changes in our country, whether we like it or not. No one told me that. So I wasn't able to report the truth or report on it, because I had no information on it. Watch closely with every word they say and do. Find the truth. That's what we need. Find the truth. I will find the truth. I'll work on it, and I'll study harder to learn truth. And remember, the media, commentators, they have to report what they're told to report. And they kept me in the dark about Muslims and our way of life, the changes in our lives. I'm not happy with it. Vice President Biden asks me to endorse him, and so does President Trump wants me to endorse him. Right at this time, I'm not going to endorse anybody because I need more information to decide who I'm going to vote for. I need to study the news, and I want to find the news that's correct, valid news information. So past few weeks they misconstrued, got me to talk with and do shows with a Muslim. And was it real? Or was it fake that this woman behaved the way she did on my show? Sure, I liked it, but was it an act or was it truth? Are they all nice like her? That is the question. So with that, everybody, let's follow the news and let's find out the correct news. I'm almost done. Correct news, and I really want to know how you think and feel about what is going on. So please write to me, KarynForPresident@gmail.com. And my website is www.KarynWeinsteinForPresident.com. I'd like to hear from you, but keep it professional, no vulgar language. Just keep it short and tell me what is happening in your life, good and bad. Well, that's all for today. I don't really have too much more to say, but just stay calm, stay alert, pay attention to what the media is saying, and keep track of what's going on. Discuss it with other people without starting a fight, knowing that both might have a heated discussion, but always love each other when you're done. So write to me at KarynForPresident@gmail.com. And my website is www.KarynWeinsteinForPresident.com. I hope you follow up and talk to me. I want to know how things are going for each and every one of you, my fellow Americans. Thank you.